to the world. So you comb your hair a little bit, brush your teeth, whatever you need to do to look as best we can, right? So thanks for everybody coming. We have the Mother Teresa of Treasure Coast Advocate Seniors, Catherine Griffin. She's got some stuff she wants to talk about, so we're going to take the agenda and spin it on a little bit because she has a meeting she has to go to. And without further ado, Catherine.
Thank you, everybody. What a great crowd. Man, I can't believe how many people came today. Welcome, welcome. I wanted to just talk to you about a little bit about how we all got started here, our mission statement. This has been going on for quite a long time now. So the mission of Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors is to provide healthcare, financial education, counseling, and assistance on the Treasure Coast. TCAS, as we call it, was started back in 2008 when Mona Gwynn Huff, Kim Nelson, Gil White, Pam Springer, Kathy Blackman, and myself decided over coffee, I think it was like Perkins, that we needed to help seniors on the Treasure Coast. How this happened was I was telling some of my community partners that are nurses. I work for Pinnacle Home Care, Senior Care Coordinator, and I was telling them that, one of our nurses checks to make sure the patients have food in the refrigerator. And when she went to the refrigerator, she only saw cat and dog food. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, the patient told me that she couldn't afford her meds, so she was eating cat and dog food. And I was telling our community partners, I said, this is like unacceptable, we have to do something. So that's how this whole thought process got started here. So we decided over coffee to help our seniors on the Treasure Coast. Nancy Hannon, Lee Borellis, and Leslie, who's here. Others joined the board shortly then after Mona and Gil White had passed away. And we honor them with carrying this torch and assisting our seniors. We're all volunteers. We each have regular jobs, but our commitment is to help the seniors in need. In the past, we've helped seniors with air conditioning needs, appliances, carpet cleaning, pest controls, and even pet supplies. So if you know of a senior that needs help, please speak to one of us. We can help. Our meetings are here every last Thursday of every month except November and December. We're always looking for new members. And you can join on our website, tcadvocates.com. So now I'm just going to tell you, it's so exciting because we are booked with speakers all the way into July of next year. Right? It's like, wow. The word got out about us. So next month, and Tom's going to introduce you to us. Next month, we're going to have Dr. LaRock, and Elder Home Care Services is our coffee sponsor. And then in October, Dr. Radicke, he's going to be talking about breast cancer since it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And our coffee sponsor is Tamara Barnett from Banker's Life. No meeting in November. In December, we have a holiday party right here in this room, December 11th. January, we've got the guide program, Council on Aging, Martin County. And we've got, in February, LifeWave. In March, we've got Treasure Coast Surgical Group. They're going to be speaking on surgeries for seniors, I think. Andrea is going to be the coffee sponsor. In April, we've got Dr. Josh Sabag. He's a podiatrist, and we've got Harbor Place and Life Care as our coffee sponsor. In May, JJ Henderson, she's here. She's a newbie, and she's an RN. She's going to be speaking on fall prevention, very important in seniors, and trauma or injury prevention. In June, we've got reverse mortgages for seniors, and in July, eye disease in seniors with Dr. Alexa Laura. So there you have it. If you want to be a coffee sponsor, please see me. And if you know of anybody that needs to speak or wants to speak for August, September, October of next year.
Can Wes come back in August for senior defense?
Senior defense for August?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Tom. We appreciate you all being here and supporting our seniors on the Treasure Coast. I apologize, I have to leave early today, and I'm sure this is going to be a fantastic presentation. Thank you.
Okay, got to talk about this. Something's happening. Going to talk about it a couple times, especially for the people that may have to leave early. Got to talk about it twice. Did I say twice? Twice?
I'm sure you said more than that.
there's a poster. We have somebody now that doesn't have air conditioning. They called us, right?
Yes.
Got a problem. So guess what you do when you fix problems? You spend money. Everybody knows what that looks like, right? Well, today's economy, maybe not. But anyway, our big event, we get most of our money, support this group, is this event. Big gala we're gonna have, it's at the Lexus dealership, it's third year in a row. There'll be dancing. Okay? There'll be drinking, right? There'll be Christine there.
Oh,
Okay, so we're gonna have, and the food is always, but most importantly, a huge draw is this very famous person, Anna Felicia Tiller. Okay, unbelievable. She helps us with the realtor board, and we pull in a ton of money, and she's up there, and she's making us laugh and laugh and laugh and having a great time. So this is gonna be a great time. Not only are you going to get a meal, have some fun, there's a cash bar, there's all that dancing going on, so you better start practicing now. This is going to happen on November 8th. So we need sponsors, more sponsors, we need more gift cards. We've got quite a few people now that are going to volunteer, but we need more, and we need more, and we need more, right? We need more of everything, so we can help people, and we can help our seniors, and that's what this group is all about. Now, we also have a chance to network a little bit too. And with that, we're going to go around the room right now and introduce yourself, and then we'll introduce the breakfast sponsor, and then the big kahula that's going to be talking about, the states and all that great stuff, right? So we're going to go around the room, and please introduce yourself.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Wes Harvin with the Estate Trust Elder Law Firm, and I'm going to be talking in a minute, right? Yeah.
Good morning, I'm Tamara Burnett with Bankers Life, a full comprehensive retirement planner, helping people with all sides of Medicare, also the areas in which Medicare isn't covering, which is that assisted care, recovery care. Also do life insurance, estate planning, and financial planning for retirement income.
Good morning, Susan Garman from Elder Home Care, private duty serving the Treasure Coast and Palm Beach counties.
Good morning, Gail Goldie with Eye Care Community Magazine. We publish in St. Lucie, Martin, Okeechobee. So if anyone's interested, and you can pick copies of these up at any retail store practically on the Treasure Coast. In the doctor's offices, we're there. We're online as well. Thank you.
Good morning, Mary Scott with Keller Williams, Port St. Lucie, also a Lifeway brand partner and a board member.
Christine Hughes with Changing Spaces of the Treasure Coast. You've heard of the wedding planner. I'm your moving and decluttering planner.
Hi, everybody. Danny Alexander. I'm an attorney with Legal Aid Society, Treasure Coast Office.
Good morning. I'm Leslie Freer. I'm a Chapters Hospice. Nice to meet you all. Happy to be here. Thank you, Austin, for pulling me in. So I'm new. I look forward to meeting everybody as well. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Austin Dow. I'm a Tender Touch Caregivers. We are a private duty company. We're also sponsoring the 50 Shades event. I built a Facebook page, event page for it. Built a little community around the page. I posted our famous MC from MTV Jams. Where'd she go? There she is. Remember her back MTV Jams? Right. So build a little community around the page, get it going. They can get their tickets right online. It's super easy. And all right.
If business pages like it. If business pages like it. Does it have to be my personal page?
Yes, you have to allow pages to like that page in the Facebook.
Come on, Austin. You gotta get it.
We're gonna do all that, I think. And I'm gonna have you help me. You're gonna check the settings. You just signed up. I don't know. Don't worry. We're gonna fix it.
You opened that door. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicole Vaughn. I'm with Harbor Place Senior Living,
and independent living and assisted living community in Port St. Lucie, and board member and chair for the Walk to End Alzheimer's.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lynn Marie. I own a residential assisted living facility, 6-bed here in Port St. Lucie.
Good morning. My name is Greg Fleming, and I'm a caregiver for my mother, who just celebrated her 90th birthday on Monday.
Birthplace, by the way.
Good morning. I'm the girl that's going to set you free or set your clients free. I'm Vanessa with J&D's Cleaning Services. We do moving and move out cleanings, deep cleanings, and also junk and debris removal. So call me and I will make you free. Good morning. My name is Lisa Teeter. I'm now with Nightingale Private Care. Love my seniors, love providing them with the freedom and knowledge that they can live at home, be safe, and be cared for.
Good morning. My name is Inez Van Ravensway, the new executive director for Evergreen Private Care in Stewart. We are Treasure Coast, Palm Beach all the way to Indian River, and Okeechobee, and then also we have offices in North and Central Florida, 13 counties up there. David Snyder, my Chief Operating Officer and friend, is also on the HCAF board, District 3, representing our organizations here in home health. So we're actually having a meeting with HCAF this afternoon. If you have any questions, please email me, or have any concerns. We'd be happy to advocate for your organizations and our community here. So thank you.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Leslie Vestridge, Community Liaison for the Council on Aging, Martin County, where aging can be engaging.
Victoria Hilton with the Estate Trust and Elder Law Firm and Medicaid Masters.
Hi, good morning. I'm Aubrey Grace with Visiting Angels. We provide at-home care for seniors. We have no contract and no minimum hours required. We are family owned and operated, and we do help veterans secure home health hours.
Good morning, everyone. I'm JJ from Lawnwood. I'm the Injury Prevention and Outreach Coordinator, and I'm passionate about teaching fall prevention. It's 40% of our trauma service. 40% of people are there because they fell. So let me teach.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jennifer Ross with the Council on Aging in St. Lucie, also a board member here with Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors.
Good morning, Pat Miles, Sales Director at Harbor Place at Port St. Lucie, Senior Living.
Mimi Wild, Molly's House, where comfort and care come together.
Marty Green, Remote Care Today. This is what seniors want most, is to stay independent, yes. And what we fear most is to lose our memory and to fall. And our platform actually helps provide not to do that. We work with clinicians of all types and pharmacies to provide a platform actually endorsed by the American Alzheimer's Association and the Florida Department of Elderly Affairs, which will actually, they do at home to help them play games, actually Measure We for seniors, that will help keep them from falling or losing memory. Thank you.
Hey, good morning. My name is Gene Mobley with ServPro.
That's all right. You saved time for me. So good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Sarah with Broken Roads Mental Health. We provide therapy-focused psychiatric care. And when I say we, I mean me, because I do all of it. If you call the phone number, you get me. If you text, you get me. If you email, you get me. If you're a patient or a family member and I'm providing care to you, you get me as well. So I have an office on Bayshore in Port St. Lucie. I also do telehealth, and for our seniors, I do mobile. So my mobile practice, I prefer independent living, assisted living, and on a case-by-case basis, I will go to homes if they're an established patient. And it's a concierge, VIP level of care. Everything is personalized. I give my patients plenty of time, so I'm able to be here right now. And I do bill Medicare as well as TRICARE and TRICARE for life. And then if it's a Medicare-based Advantage plan, which we are not usually very fond of. If it has out-of-network benefits, I can bill those as well. I don't know. I know lots of resources, and I'm not afraid to make phone calls and ask people for what my patient needs. So any questions, let me know.
My name's Terry Pinder, and I have my own practice of functional medicine. If you don't know what that is, it's sort of root cause. It's everything that frustrates you about your regular experience. Not. It's where we talk about you, we deal with what is causing your problems, and that's not why I'm here today. But I will be happy to talk to any executive in this room because I can help you optimize your functioning. That's what we do in functional medicine. But I also own another business called Direct Care Clinical Co-working, which is a cooperative workspace for clinicians. It's 100% compliant with all the city regulations, state regulations, all of that stuff. So it makes it easy for a new clinician or a retiring clinician like myself who wants to work part-time instead of carrying the overhead of a clinic. So we all come together, we work cooperatively. I have a nurse practitioner in there who runs a direct primary care, which is sort of like a concierge care, except it's a lot less expensive. And if you're an employer and trying to compete for the top caregivers in this community to send to your private duty cases, wouldn't it be nice to have a health benefit to offer them when nobody else is? And that would be a direct primary care. And if you want to pair it with a cost sharing kind of plan, it can create a really great opportunity for you as an employer to cover those people, those 1099s. Or if you don't want to do it that way, just give us an opportunity to come to one of your staff meetings and let your employees know what we can do for them. So hit me up if you want to know about some disruptors in the healthcare space.
Good job.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Kadir. I'm opening a wound care business that's mobile called Coastal Care and Wellness. So anyone that I can pick their brain about things that are pet peeves of yours right now that aren't being fulfilled in that space, we should be open in about 2 months. And we'll service Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Jupiter, and Gardens.
Thank you. We did, yes. Christine, did you speak to?
I am not paid with Elder Home Care Services, private duty, and total TLC transport for your long distance rides.
Okay, so,
And I'm Steve Gold with White Glove Moving Storage Delivery Service, Senior Certified Moving Consultant. Urgent Nurses, call White Glove Moving Service.
there you go. Okay, so Alex Foreman here with his own money, his own equipment, doing all this work. We get lots of setup, so we're out to the world. Plus, on top of that, Facebook site, we're everywhere. We have our professional website. We have all of that. So please join. If you haven't joined, bring on some members. Seniors can join for $5 a year, so they could be watching this from home. And individuals can join for $50. You can sponsor for $200, or a corporation can do it for $100. And by the way, somebody in here talked about how, you divide the 100 by 12 and it winds up being whatever, $8 a month, which is, I think, cheaper than Starbucks now. I'm pretty sure, I think so. So without anything else, we're gonna have Alex talk about what he does. He definitely earns a couple seconds.
Thank you. My name is Alex Foreman. Just a couple PSAs I kind of want to throw out there. Effective July 1, there's this new law that requires all healthcare professionals to get level 2 background screenings when they go to renew. So you might just think, if you're an RN, LPN, massage therapist, EMT, physician, anywhere in between, you might just think you're going to upload your CEUs and pay, and you'll be shocked to find out you need fingerprinting and you're right near the deadline. We provide live scan fingerprinting right in downtown Stewart, 555 South Colorado, or as we like to call it, the Taco Shack building. We also have a mobile case. You can go on site if your team is too busy to be able to get out in between patients to be able to come to our office. We can work with you to help get you up to speed and into compliance. I know this is just being kind of thrown at everyone by the state, and anything that you guys need, net 30 billing, custom booking links, anything to help improve your workflows, I also do web design, graphic design, email, and back-end automation. So if you need help with brand congruency across all of your social media, website, just general brand awareness, I would be glad to help you with that as well. Quick PSA is just another thing to throw out there. There's a lot of scams going around. If you're starting Facebook ads, there are actually entities on Facebook that are creating a quote-unquote business page and are using the Facebook notification system. So if you check the email header, it looks like it's legitimate, and Facebook forms to have you try to give sensitive information. If you just launched an ad and you get something saying it was disapproved and taken down, stop, don't start filling that out. You can go to the Facebook ad manager and check if it's true. You can reach out to me. I will spend my 30-minute free consult with you, just making sure you don't get scammed. That is one of my pet peeves. I effing hate scammers, and I want to make sure that nothing happens to you guys. Anything I can help you with, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, just everybody knows me. We're going to be voting, board's voting today, 2-year cycle on a lot of the board members. And so my last meeting will be next month, and we're voting for a new president, vice president, and all that great stuff. Some of the people will stay in place, like our secretary, right? You know, all that there. So anyway, but what are we going to be doing, Tom and Mary? Well, yeah, we still do real estate, but we have a new entity, new company, LLC, registered, and we're aligned with top teams in the world with LifeWave. And it's just unbelievable what it's done for me. And anybody wants any coaching about that stuff, give us a call. I have pamphlets here. And it's part of the reason that I lost since last December 70 pounds. And I'm going because I want to look like a yoga instructor. But by the way, I tried yoga last week for an hour. It almost killed me. Okay, it almost killed me. I said, 3 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go. Am I going to make it? So anyway, but without further ado, the person that's going to be the MC at the big gala, and they are the people that gave you this fantastic breakfast. And come on up, Allery, okay, Valencia Tillery, Anna, they call her at the board, Anna.
I don't know, it was echoing pretty bad. Is this okay if I do it loud? Okay, all right. I am so proud to represent White Glove Moving Storage and Delivery. We are celebrating 23 years headquartered right here in the Treasure Coast. And of those 23 years, I've been with the team 13. We have 52 full-time employees, 16 trucks in our fleet, and they are of assorted sizes, just like our men. I've hired them, it's true. All different sizes. Though we are locally headquartered, we do in fact help folks relocate into the state of Florida or out of the state of Florida, while also helping them relocate from other parts of the state, in addition to all the local stuff. So I thought it might be fun today to give you a sense of how fast, how cost effective, and just how well we live up to the White Glove name with that A+ standard by the Better Business Bureau that we proudly boast about. And I can only do that with help from you. So with those business cards, I'm going to need Nicole Vaughn, our incredible secretary. I'm going to need Marty Green, and I'm going to need Danny Victor Alexander. Come on, friends. Come on down, friends. Yeah. That's right. Clap for them. We're going to put Marty in the middle. I feel like that seems like a good idea. Oh, I had no idea it was going to be so aesthetically pleasing with colors, too. Yeah, right here. Right here. All right. So, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher. Boom. All right. So, with these arrows, and maybe with a little help from y'all, we'll be able to really wrap our brains around whether my question would warrant a higher or a lower. We're going to start with Nicole, if that's okay. So, how many of you know of a senior that has relocated from one assisted living community or independent to another. Pretty commonplace, right? And that could be for a variety of reasons. It's closer. Good catch, Steve. Good catch. It's closer to family and loved ones. Maybe they didn't love the level of care. Maybe there was an incredible incentive because it's a new community. Whatever the reason, we can help them from point A to point B. So let's just say, on average, how many hours does it take to move from one assisted living community here in the Treasure Coast to another? Would you say that it is higher or lower than 4 hours? Lower.
It's like higher.
You want to stick with the higher? For everyone that said lower, you are correct. Lower. But that's okay, honey, because you still want a prize. Like, yay! Yes. On average, a complete senior relocation here in the Treasure Coast will be somewhere around 3 hours. Now, one of the things that we really pride ourselves in at White Glove Moving and Storage is the fact that we have no minimums beyond 1 hour. So after 1 hour, we can bill in 30-minute increments. That's just being fair and ethical every step of the way to ensure that the customers are getting top-notch service while also not overpaying. So we're really proud of being able to do that. Our next question for you, my friend. Moving from Florida to be closer with family, a full pack and move from the Treasure Coast to Pennsylvania, would you say that that is higher or lower than 6,000?
Wow. I would say higher.
You think higher?
Yes.
Lower. Steve, what would you say?
No pressure.
Each number is different. However, if you were to take a senior that was already an established senior living facility and we were to take them from here and move them up to Pennsylvania, it would be well under $6,000.
Wow.
Indeed. We would be hovering somewhere in that particular scenario. It could be as low as $1,200, and depending on what size home they had, if they were coming from a house, it could be closer to $4,000 or $5,000. So it's really incredibly cost effective, right? But you, sir, still win a prize.
Oh.
Here you go, my dear.
Thank you.
Well done, Marty. All right, beautiful. The number of men it requires to do a small internal move, would you say it's higher or lower than 1?
Higher.
Higher, yes, because we always need 2 men in any equation at White Glove. Yay! Again, it coordinates, isn't that fun? Thank you. Oftentimes, you're gonna have folks that just need some things done in their own home, right? As we work with our seniors, sometimes they have to retrofit their home so they can age in place. They might need to do some new flooring and new wall treatments as a result of some of those renovations. At White Glove, we can do that too. They don't necessarily have to do a full move out. Sometimes you just need handsome, helpful, and handy men with muscle that love being told what to do. Handsome is very important. Very important. And that is part of what we bring to the table. So whether it's for yourself, a family member, a client, a neighbor, or a friend coming into or out of Florida, as much or as little as they need done, we are here to help. It's always a free estimate. We do take so much pride, and we love to pass along some incredible perks as our networking friends and extended family. We bring all of that to the table, so it's just a number that makes everyone comfortable, and we knock it out in split. So I do have a White Glove Love Bag. Now for our folks that move locally, we're so proud to give them a little souvenir when they move with us, and it's everything they need to transition into their new home that first night. So this White Glove Love Bag is equipped with the 2025 designer White Glove t-shirt. Every year I do a spoof off of different songs, and this year just happens to be a nod to Nancy Sinatra. So these men are made for moving. And that's just what they do. One of these days, White Glove is going to help to move you too. And my dear friend, Leslie Vestris, this is your prize. Oh, we're proudly. Yes, sister. Cards are in the back, and we look forward to being of service. Thank you so much.
Are we here for him?
Oh, it's my color.
Yes, sister. Thank you.
So we're arriving to the main event. Okay, well, there's so many people, it took a little extra time, to introduce everybody and so on and so forth. So I got a little bio here, excuse me, multiple pages, take a nap if you need to, but I know I'll try to talk as fast as I can. So, Wesley R. Harvin II, President, State Trust, Elder Law. Wesley grew up in Stuart, Florida, earned his Juris Doctor from the University of Florida, Frederick Levin College of Law in 2001. He wanted to deepen his experience earning a Master's of Law in Estate Planning for the University of Miami in 2002. Since then, Wes has practiced law in the hometown of Stuart, love Stuart, and he worked alongside his father, the late Wesley R. Harvin, focused on estate planning, probate, trust, litigation, and elder law. For over 2 decades of experience, he's become trusted in his community and all through the Treasure Coast. Wes is a proud member of the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys. It's limited to the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida. He presented tax and probate training for over 15 years to Florida attorneys and CPAs, and has held leadership roles, including past president of both the Martin County Bar Association and Real Estate Committee and Estate Planning Committee. That's impressive, too. Now, a resident of Indian River, Cali, he lives with his fiancee. Is that still a fiancee? She's, okay, still. 4 children, is there 5? Or is just, okay, all right, hasn't moved up at all on that. Okay. He also serves as chairman of a private foundation dedicated to supporting disabled and paralyzed veterans, a cause close to his heart. Passion for helping others runs in his blood. That's what he says. I'm humbled to continue serving the Treasure Coast as the new owner and president of the State Trust Law Firm. So, without any further ado, Wesley, come on up.
Hello, hello. Is it okay if I don't use this? Yeah. Okay. How's that? All right. Hello. So my name is Wes. And yeah, I've been doing estate planning and trusts and all this sort of good stuff for 25, years now, some odd. I'm thinking maybe it would be good this morning to talk about some things that I hear from our clients, our community, and that I hear that you guys hear from your people, and hit some sort of hot topics and some general points that I find some misconceptions on. I think that might be a good morning. Does that sound good? Okay. All right. Let's do that. That's probably actually a really good idea this morning because things are kind of changing as we speak, really. So we know some things we know, and we know some things we don't know yet about what the senior landscape is going to look like from our perspective. So let's talk about it. All right. The 3 main documents that I get a lot of questions about, and that you guys get questions about, and then ask me about, are the will, right? Last will and testament, power of attorney, and healthcare surrogate. So let's talk about them all. The will, I always tell my clients, I can do the best will in the world for you, but we need to make sure it does what you think it's going to do. There's a lot of misconceptions there about what the will does, right? What happens when these misconceptions are allowed to propagate? Well, somebody dies. And then the family finds out that they're not getting what they thought they were supposed to be getting. And then they come and get a lawyer. And lawyers make everything worse for everybody. Because then we fight everybody and we sue everybody, and then the family's suing each other. And I always tell them, I don't know who your mom or dad wanted to get all their stuff, but I know it wasn't me. But it's going to be, right? If we keep fighting over this. So a way to sort of help the family as a whole is to make sure that everybody understands that a will only pertains to stuff in your name alone. Only pertains to stuff in your name alone. Sometimes people do this big, beautiful will, and it says, I'm going to give this to this kid and this to this kid and whatever it may be. And then I say, Okay, well, how are your documents, how are your accounts currently held? Oh, they're all in joint names with my oldest son or my sister. Well, if something's in joint names and you die, it all goes to them. And this big, beautiful will that served as a balancing of the accounts of your entire life does nothing. Because nothing goes through it. And it doesn't help. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So looking at how things are held is one of the first things that we do. Helping people in their lifetime now, though, right, is often important to them. You know, it's funny, it's often less important to them, really. Sometimes they say, well, I don't want to make any, I don't want my kids to be mad, I better put them in, I better put this person in, I better make sure that this person's not upset with me. Okay, fine, that's important to them, it's important to me. But what's more important is making sure they have the documents to give them the care that they need now. And that takes us to the power of attorney and healthcare surrogate. These are also documents that the laws of which are changing also right now. Okay, power of attorney. We all know the phrase, power of attorney. Power of attorney allows someone else to act in their legal and financial shoes. Now, allow someone else to act for them right now. We like that. Funny thing about a power of attorney is we kind of have our clients sign them when they don't need them, really. We have them sign things when they can still sign things, right? And we have them sign this thing for a time when they can't sign things. And sometimes people don't want to do one right now because they say, am I giving this power to my daughter now? Did she access my stuff now? You know? Yes, you can. That's kind of the point. But they can't just do anything they want, so I always reassure my clients, you can go ahead and get one because the person must act in your best interest as you would expect. They must act in your best interest as you would expect. So you can give them a measure of comfort if they're concerned about executing a power of attorney. We give them some comfort that there can be court oversight and the person can't just take all their money and run. Yeah. Okay, that's an established and long-term element of Florida law. Here's a new part of it that a lot of people don't know. As of this year, we have a new subspecies of power of attorney. It's called a supported decision-making agreement. A supported decision-making agreement. And I have not seen any of these out in the wild yet. But I'm doing it. And here's what it says. It says, well, a normal power of attorney says that I can get information, give information, and make decisions for you. If I want to change your bank account, I can. If I want to sell your car, I can. If I want to do whatever I want to do, I can do it because I'm your power of attorney. A supported decision-making agreement is a lesser level, and it says, I, as the senior, can appoint someone as my agent. They can get information in my name. They can talk to the bank. They can talk to the mortgage company. They can talk to the IRA custodian. They can do whatever you can do to gather information and transmit it back to the senior, but they cannot legally bind you. They cannot legally bind the senior. This is kind of a way that we're trying to have our cake and eat it too, to prevent the senior from informational isolation, which is one of the first things we look for when we're looking at either vulnerability or exploitation hygiene, looking for some way to keep the senior from being taken advantage of. Because it's the closest people, usually, that have the access to do something they shouldn't be doing, right? And if somebody's concerned about that, but we don't want them to be isolated, we can use SDM, Supported Decision-Making Agreement. Make sense? Okay, yeah.
It doesn't replace the healthcare surrogate.
It does not replace the healthcare surrogate. It works in tandem with the power of attorney and healthcare surrogate. So let's talk about the healthcare surrogate. Okay, healthcare surrogate. No real changes there, at least this past legislative session, which is to say that we still like them a lot. Healthcare surrogate allows someone else to make your healthcare decisions, right? I always tell my clients, I like them, I want them. I like them most when they are hand in glove with a living will. That's another misconception I get a fair amount. Oh, I have a will. See, here's a document and it says will on top. And I say, I get it, right? I don't like the fact that the living will is called the will. It shouldn't be called the will, but it is called the will. But it's not a last will and testament. The living will, as I'm sure you know, sets forth the end of life decisions. End of life decisions when it comes to a physician's determination that you are in a vegetative or comatose condition, and there is no reasonable medical probability of recovery. Then the doctor's going to look at the family and say, does Wes want to pull the plug or not? Or do we continue to administer food and water or not? Very personal decision. And it's not one that I like to place on a healthcare surrogate, right? Because with a healthcare surrogate, you're kind of saying, look, I don't know what might happen. Something might happen. I don't know what might happen. But if something happens, this person's going to make the call. But with a living will, we're saying, you know what? I do know one thing that might happen, right? I might be in this condition. And it doesn't matter anymore how I got there. I'm there now. And instead of having somebody else do their best to guess what I might want, I'm going to tell you what I want. Right? And I see this as a way to empower our seniors too. Because that might be their last decision that they make. And I like to give them the dignity of making it. So I like a healthcare surrogate best with a living will. They work together. And those two documents with a power of attorney make up what I call the living side of our documents and give us all the power that we need immediately and all the power that we can't need. Yeah.
What's the difference between a durable power of attorney and a power of attorney?
Good question. Okay, so none anymore. Okay, durable means, it used to mean that it has a duration into our incapacity. Formerly, there were powers of attorney that only lasted while our own capacity lasted, under the theory that if you were my agent, you only had agency as long as I did. And if I was declared incompetent, we both lost our power. Florida law is now to the effect that all powers are durable and have a duration into and through our incapacity to our death. Maybe this is a good point to say. Powers of attorney end at death. Powers of attorney end at death. If somebody's doing something after death as the power of attorney, they're doing something they should not be doing. And that's when we get involved. Yes?
DNR, part of health surrogate. I know in previous situations, we've always wanted to put the DNR yellow page on the fridge for our clients.
Right.
So that hasn't changed in that. Is that part of your health surrogate and making sure that those measures are taken?
Good question, good question. DNR, the yellow page, right? Yep, DNR, also called the DNRO, do not resuscitate order, right? Because it's signed by a physician ordering the EMTs not to resuscitate. Some lawyers do these, some lawyers don't. I personally find that I prefer not to do them because I don't know if you need one. It's a very sensitive medical decision. So I make no legal recommendation as to whether or not you should have one. But if the attending physician does determine, because I guess the resuscitation process is really traumatic.
Yes.
Like
100%.
Like, yeah. And maybe that process, even if it brought you back, would bring you back in a very diminished condition. So for whatever reason, I don't know, yes or no, but I always tell my clients there are two things I do want you to know about them if you have one. Number one, it's got to be on a yellow sheet of paper. Got to be signed by a physician. Does that mean? And and it's got to be yellow. Can't be a photocopy because sometimes people they file the original, right, and they make a copy and they put it on the fridge. No good. Got to be yellow, right? And then you've given me the opportunity to tell one of my favorite jokes. You have to pardon me because I know you've heard this. Okay, so this is the second legal part of a DNR, right? So this man and his wife, the wife never liked the mother-in-law. They never got along, right? And the mother-in-law dies. And the man and the wife are driving home from the funeral. And the wife says, and the husband says, you know, baby, I know you never liked my mom. And she never liked you. But in the last 6 months of her life, she had this piece of jewelry. And she wore it every day. And she made me promise that if she died, I would give it to you so you would wear it every day too. And he gives it to her. And she says, hey, this is a bracelet that says, do not resuscitate. So the point being, and I'll come to you, the point is, can you have a bracelet? Yes. Can you have a card? Yes. But only if you have the actual document too. You can't just buy the bracelet on Amazon and all of a sudden you have a DNR type thing. And I get that a lot. Yeah.
I want to know more about the specific example of the difference between the old school POA and this new supportive decision maker person.
And is that adorable?
Because yeah, it kind of sounds very similar. It sounds very gray. I don't like gray.
Yeah.
That's okay. But like,
yeah.
What's the big difference in an example of
yeah
a patient and a
yeah, good. Okay. Good. Let me fold that into what I'm going to say, and if I don't answer, you tell me. I thought I had somebody else too.
I just wanted to make a comment about the DNRs. I'm from the hospital at Fort Pierce Lawn with Word Trauma. And something that we're having some issues with is, our patients come into the trauma bay emergently. The paramedics get the yellow copy from either the nursing home, the ALF, the resident, whatever. However, those forms are not filled out completely, which negates the entire DNR, and they're getting procedures or interventions that they don't want, and we have a choice. So I just want to tell everyone how important it is to make sure that everything is signed and dated so that we can follow the wishes of the patient. Otherwise, we're going to get CPR, and they didn't want it. The family's not there immediately to stop it. So they're going through something traumatic, like you said, that they had already had things in place that they didn't want. So it's super important to make sure that those are filled out completely.
And check the doctor's work. The doctor's just signed.
Yeah.
Don't expect the doctor to take it. I'm one of them. Yeah, like, I'm serious, because you get a visit like that, and it takes you an hour to go through, talk about all their end of life care wishes and things like that.
That's
and
what
then,
we will.
right. No, I'm not even filling out paperwork. This is just my office visit with the patient. Like I currently do internal medicine, and so you have basically an hour appointment that's only allowed for 30 minutes, where they have all these things, and then you have to fill out all this paperwork. And usually you expect like an office staff person to fill, like you check like the main box and then you sign, but then there might not be the address, there might not be the, things that should be there, and then the family just takes them and it never gets filled out.
Yeah. And I think, let me give you this answer in the time that I've got left. Okay, so the big difference between this new creature, this supported decision-making agreement, the difference between that and the old school power of attorney is, the old school power of attorney can fully manipulate all of your assets, including transferring them away, changing the titles, and changing the ownership. They can take legal action. That's right.
They have access to all your information.
Access to all your information. Yeah.
They can translate it for you and help you understand.
In their best case. In the best case, and also in the majority of cases. Most POAs are out there, doing the Lord's work. They're doing, good stuff. But if we're concerned about that, the new creature, the new statutory creature, the supported decision-making agreement, states you cannot bind me. You cannot retitle anything at all. You are an information agent only. You get it, you give it, you get it, you give it. You can talk to everybody, and the bank can't refuse you. They just can't. They can't say no to anything other than information flow. Ceasing the physical isolation of seniors, the communicative, social isolation of seniors, ceasing that, facilitating that interaction is a real goal of Florida as a whole, and those of us in the elder community. And this is a good tool for doing that, maybe one step at a time. And I think, thank you for having me ask another question. Yes.
Do you have a recommendation regarding wills and all of the legal information for people to have it updated? Because I know that there are a lot of people who come down from another state,
Yeah.
they retire down here or whatever, and their will may be 30 years old or 20, you know. And
good question.
I never see anything from anybody recommending how often to have it reviewed or updated. And this is a perfect example that there is a new policy out there. And people are unaware of it, and yet they think, well, I've got my will, I've got all of this. So I'm just.
Here's a good rule of thumb, and I do have some guidelines on old stuff and out-of-state stuff. Okay. Any stuff from Florida, any Florida stuff that's more than about 5 or 6 years old, we should look at it again. So anything more than that, definitely 10 years or older, look at it again. A lot of changes. Okay. Anything from out of state that's a power of attorney or healthcare surrogate, I like it to be replaced with Florida stuff. I want new Florida documents for your healthcare and your legal powers. Otherwise, they might get rejected, especially by banks that are all nervous about getting sued. And a bank officer in Fort Pierce isn't going to know if your Connecticut power of attorney from 1993 is valid. They don't know. So they're going to say no. Right? So the powers, I want new powers. Your will and your trust, I always tell them if it's from out of state, is it valid here? Yes. Do I have to prove it was valid there? Yes. That's going to cost you about 10 times what it's going to cost you just to do a new one. But do you have to do a new one? No. You don't have to. Makes sense to you. I think I maybe one more. Yeah.
I'm in the Mills. Well, I'm not the one in the Mills situation. They keep calling me for this advice. 3 sisters thought they were best friends. Mom never did a will. Gave each one of them a house. One of the houses had all of her belongings, personal items in it. Now they're fighting.
Right.
Mom is now dead.
Right.
And the sister with the house with belongings in it, does she get the belongings in the house, including all this sentimental and stuff that she wanted, that it wasn't, nothing was will, but she's saying because the house is in her name and mom didn't leave a will, she gets all the belongings in the home?
Nope. Nope. If you get the home, you get the home. You get from the drywall out. All the stuff in is part of the general estate, just like bank accounts, cars, pets, and everything else. And if there is no will, that means it gets split 3 equal ways.
Shit.
Shit.
You're not even kidding. And her father-in-law is a lawyer and says she's entitled to everything. What kind of lawyer? The house is in her name.
I respectfully disagree.
Don't touch it.
I disagree, yeah. I think maybe grab me in the back if you can, but thanks for having me up front.
So the Estate Trust and Elder Law Firm conducts free estate planning seminars twice a month at different locations along the Treasure Coast. We have some in September, of course, and you can check us out online. But our next one here in Port St. Lucie is at IRSC, the Veteran Center, on Thursday, October 16th from 10 to 12. Thank you. And the flyers up here and information and business cards, y'all.
Okay. Any other events that you want to announce that are going on? Don't forget, our big gala. Our seniors need you. Let's have some fun. Thank you. Board members.